Good morning, low-tech garage family. We have a fun one for you today. Still in the automotive realm, but definitely something a little bit different. So, let's get the garage up here. We can check it out. So you guys may have seen the video I did on the F250 a couple weeks ago, doing some work on the fuel tank. Truck's been running great. No bad news to report there. But when I came home last night, pulled the truck into the backyard, and this happened. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but the ground literally collapsed underneath the truck. The frame is on the ground. And these are 33-inch tires, and it's not touching. So, initial investigation looks like there's some sort of old structure under here. But AAA came last night, and apparently they're not allowed to drive on grass. So, their assistance was not that useful, because trying to pull a truck out when you're past the center line on the tires almost futile. So anyway, before things get real expensive, I thought, let's give this a try ourselves and see if we can figure out how to get this thing out of here. So yeah, not exactly how I want to spend my Friday morning, but I guess these things happen, and you guys can follow along and see what the hell this hole is that, appeared underneath the truck when I parked too. So I'll probably set up like a time lapse or something while I mess around with this, and then I'll do some updates along the way as and when and if we make any progress. So hope you guys enjoy. Alright, so status update, making a little progress. So initially it was a bit of a challenge because the frame rail was actually on the ground, and the place I could jack from on the driver's side was too far back. So the truck was just lifting the rear up, which is the opposite of what I wanted. Thankfully, I was able to get the jack in from the other side of the truck. So let me show you here what we've got going on. So basically reaching across from underneath and raising the truck up. I've been able to get a stand. I'll go around the other side and show you guys, but up under the frame rail. It's actually raised up a little more since I last put it in there, but I think what's going to happen here is I'll probably have to lower it onto the stand. I'll probably put two on that side, drop the jack back down, and then probably get, I have a big block of wood, put that on top of the jack and see if we can raise her up a little bit more. So let's take a look. Excuse me. So you can kind of see truck's leveling out a little bit now, thankfully. Before, the front wheel was completely in this hole. We're just above the center line now, which is good, and the bumper is no longer on the ground. Does look like I put a nice big old bend in the bumper, but I guess that's to be expected. Hopefully it's just the bumper. We'll see once we get her back on the ground. But yeah, looks like I probably got to raise the wheel up at least another 12 inches or more And then I have a bunch of lumber I'm going to try and spread across this opening, and then put a 3/4 inch ply board over the whole hole. And I think then it's let's position ourselves and see if we can make a slow but swift exit. So yeah, I got this on time lapse, so stay tuned. Okay, so another update. We're getting close. Let's see. So I would say the tire's like 3 or 4 inches below the ground level. Unfortunately, sort of maxed my jack out with this big block of wood. So I have to find a few more things to precariously stack on that, which is less than ideal, but have been able to get the really good 12-ton jack stand under here, so I feel a little safer with that. But yeah, I need to probably raise this up a solid like 6 to 8 inches more, because I'm going to build a structure that spans all of this with wood, and then a sheet of ply, and then, like I said, try and get this bad boy out of here without going back down in there. So stay tuned. Let's see if we can find some more lumber to get under this jack. Well, certainly getting hotter, but we've made some progress. So yeah, let me show you where we're at. So she's raised up enough, and what we've basically done, I've got a bunch of 2x4s that span the opening. What I was able to determine is there's actually like a concrete foundation of whatever the truck fell through. So put all these on edge, they span the foundation of whatever that is, and I think the shear strength of the 2x4s should be a bit beefier than on end. So we have just single ones at the front because the wheels won't be on it, but to distribute the load. Then these are actually ones that are all nailed together, so we got 3 of those. I'm going to put a 3/4 inch ply board across all of this to distribute the load. And then actually I have this smaller piece of 3/4 inch ply right there. I'm gonna sit that on top just to lessen the chances of stuff cracking. You know, realistically, this is probably like 2,500 to 3,000 pounds coming down on this corner. So still not 100% sure if this is gonna do the trick, but it's worth a shot, because AAA couldn't get me out of here, and they started talking about $500 an hour for one of those massive tow trucks, so I figure this is worth a go. So I'm gonna get the 3/4 inch ply all queued up, and the only other thing I'm gonna see if I can do is kind of get the steering straight before lowering the truck down. And then I think, you know, final steps will be basically get everything ready to go, get the truck started, and then when it's time to lower it, just lower it down and try and back it off here as quickly as possible, but not aggressively, just get it away from this opening. So stay tuned. Like I said, I've got all this on time lapse, so you guys can kind of see what I've been chipping away with in the interim. So as kind of expected, it's a little precarious on the jack with all that wood on top. I was hoping I could just shore up the steering a little bit, but as soon as I started to move, I could feel the truck wobbling around, and I did not want to risk that, even though I got to stand under it. So I think the plan here is basically get the jack stand out and, you know, just go for it. So I guess we'll see how it goes. You know, I got the wheel a little straighter. I'll show you guys real quick, but yeah, basically from here on out, it's just going to be get the truck started, probably do that first, then stand out, lower it down, and just try and hustle to, you know, get her off of this thing as quick as possible without it going back down. So fingers crossed. And this is just in case I hadn't done an update on what we got here. So 4x8, 3/4 inch ply, another pad right underneath. Might even take the one that's on the jack stand when I pull that out, put that under if it'll fit, just for as much rigidity as possible, and kind of putting the load of the truck across all these 2x4s, because I mean, honestly, they're probably not really strong enough, but you know, we just got to work with what we got here. So yeah, get that out, get her started, and fingers crossed. Well, it's on the deck. Guess I'll bring you guys along for the ride. She's down. So let's do this. Let's just make sure the jack's out the way. Pretty sure it's good. Yep. Alright, let's get the heck off this thing. Give her a start. Come on. There we go. Come on, old girl. Well, we're liberated. Praise the Lord. Well, a little bit of ingenuity, but it did it. Well, a lot of work, but I'll say I'm pleased. And it probably saved me $500. So hey, there you go. Call that a win. And yeah, once I get all these boards out the way, let me get away from the truck. I know it's loud as crap. Yeah, once I get all these boards out the way, let's do some exploring together and try and figure out what the heck this thing is. Not sure if it's like an old septic system or drainage system, but we'll check it out.